Hey, good looking. Are you ready for a little doopy dupe? Little swatchy swatch? And a little looky look? Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kendra Morgan Official, and if you're new here, I put out content weekly on makeup brushes that aren't Morphe, single eyeshadows, and sunscreen. So if you like that kind of content, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And let's get started. Today, you've guessed it, I am duping the Colourpop The Child Palette. This is probably my third take of it because I just had so much fun finding the shadows that I felt best fit it, since I knew I didn't have these types of shadows at all. Like I said before in my Natasha Denona dupe on the Trio Chrome palette, and if you haven't seen that one yet, guys, I will link it in the eye and down below. Go check it out. But I said that I really aspire to own any seafoam matte greens that blend out to a gray color, and that I totally mean that when I say that. So when I decided to dupe the Mandalorian palette, I had to get creative. Guys, this video is in collaboration with none other than YouTuber's Best, Beauty and the Frizz. And if you don't know Kara, go hop on over to her channel after you finish my video, and she is also duping this palette. We are having a lot of fun here. Kara is such a wonderful gal. She loves makeup, loves all things makeup. She reviews some high-end luxury makeup products, so go check her out. She's doing this in collaboration with me. We're both putting together our own dupe video, and I'm so stoked to see hers, so go check hers out. Okay guys, like I promised, I want to give you guys swatches of the palette that I'm duping. I'll let you guys know what shadows I am using to dupe the palette with, and then also I'll give you guys a little tutorial on this particular look here that I have going on for you. I am going to go ahead. I notice in most of my videos I like to give myself that negative space, and then I don't like to move back. So I am going to right now put up here on the screen a picture of the palette, and then I'm also going to put a picture of the names on the palette so that you guys know which shadows are duping what. And then I'll also go ahead and now put the swatches. They also have the names next to them, and then SG is Sydney Grace, CP is Colourpop, and then ABH is Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I think that's the only brands that I use. Those are the only brands. Yeah, I think so. Done with that. Okay guys, so we've went through the swatches. Now let's get into this tutorial. I'm just gonna kind of do a little brief overview. So I slipped some Vanguard in the crease, buffed and blended it all out, and if you watch and notice, that Vanguard does not blend out to a gray, it does hold its green. So I thought choosing Vanguard in place of Little Frog was a really good idea. And I buffed moss in the inner and outer third of the lid. We're kind of going for a halo look here. That is a deep forest green. Thought it played off really well for that. I did add some Americano, Makeup Geek's Americano, on the lower lash line. I stamped it in the lash line, and then I also added just a smidge of it up in the outer V. It brought the look a little too brown because, again, you're mixing a reddish brown with a green, so again, you're going to turn muddy real quick. And then I went and stamped over it with a little bit of moss just to kind of re-intensify that green. For the center of the lid, I added Recruit. And then I blended a little bit of Cadet on the outer corners into the moss. So we've got two shimmers on the lid creating the halo. After I put on my lashes, I decided to get real funky. Now my spin on this palette is that I really just didn't have, oopsie daisy, I just didn't really have any of these two shadow dupes in my collection, so I went ahead and took Makeup Geek's Limelight and stuck it in there, just kind of like a little twist, a little one-up, if you will. And so I decided to add that on the center of the lid to kind of give it that Kermit the Frog green, or Baby Yoda green. And then I took Colourpop's Now and Zen and I buffed it on the underneath the brow bone and then in the inner corner. And that is such a beautiful shade, guys. Let me just swatch it for you. Yeah. Do you see how it gives like a gold green shift? I thought it was like super similar to the Precious Cargo shade. I know that's a Super Shock shadow in the Child palette, but I thought this came really close. So maybe it's the same thing, just in the Super Shock formula. Dun dun dun. Alright guys, so I don't know too much about Star Wars. I thought I'd go ahead and insert what I did, or just kind of pretend like I know something about the Star Wars. So I know that the original 3 Star Wars movies that came out were under Lucasfilms, and then about 10 years ago Disney bought out the Star Wars franchise, so now Disney owns them, so we aren't going to be putting any like Baby Yoda memes or anything like that. But actually, Baby Yoda, you probably know him better as Baby Yoda, but it's the Child. I've never seen a single episode of the Child, just to let you know, or the Mandalorian. Yeah, it's called the Mandalorian. But I do know it's about bounty hunters that go after the Baby Yoda the Child, and other than that I don't really know a whole lot. There you have that. I hope you guys enjoyed this little rendition of duping the Colourpop's The Child palette. I would love to own this palette just for the packaging. So I know I won't own it because that's just not a good enough reason. Packaging is just never a good enough reason, especially when you're a single shadows lover like myself. We sometimes store our shadows. Oh, I got the bokeh on high core here, but I store mine on a little DIY homemade magnetic board. So, well, some of them are when I put them up on the drawing board, and I try to find all my shades to dupe with. So it's not really something that I am totally 100% sold on that I would ever buy this palette for packaging reasons only. I'm probably just more for the goods inside. So I thought if there's anybody else out there like that, here you go, some ideas for a good dupe to the Child palette. And with that, thanks so much for watching, guys. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.